Coach, what's this camp like? Obviously, you've got a bunch of veterans, but obviously a whole bunch of newcomers as well. Interesting mix there.
Yeah, it's, after one session, it's pretty good. You know, I think we got a very senior-dominated team, not just in numbers, but in terms of guys who played a lot of minutes. And it's a good group. It's a good mixture. This morning session went a lot better than what I expected it would go. And I was very pleased. Very, very pleased.
What do you do a lot with the younger players and a big freshman class? What do you try to do to get them acclimated to this new environment?
I mean, a lot of it really is just from a new player standpoint, it's the rigors of going every day compared to what they're used to from being back home. But we've recruited elite players. I think it's a little underrated. It came out 24th best class in the country. I happen to think it's better, and I think time will prove that. But these kids we've got elite players in this group, so it's not outside of the physical demands of having to go every day. I think they're going to assimilate pretty quickly.
Obviously, depth's very important in this sport. Long season, injuries will crop up here and there. You feeling good that you're going to have a lot of guys that you can run in there?
Yeah, injuries caught up with us at the end of the year last year. We lost Ray Gaddis, who started for the Philadelphia Union a number of games this year. We lost Shadow Sabelli, who was our leading scorer for the last 5 games, and we lost Pibo Due. That being said, for a while, we were able to do pretty well with our depth. And I said before last season, I thought it was the deepest West Virginia team that we've ever had. And without those three, we went out to Seton Hall and out to Notre Dame and picked up 2 wins without those guys. And a couple wins, in the NCAA tournament, and winning the NCAA tournament as well. So this year, I happen to think this team is now the deepest team we've ever had. So I think that should say something about the quality that I think we have in this group. Right now, I think we're pretty well prepared and well suited to deal with things like that. I don't want to have to deal with things like that where I'm losing my top point getter, but at the end of the day, I think we've got enough depth in this team to run through a pretty tough schedule and a long season.
Devin had a really solid freshman year for him, and I know you need him to find the back of the net even more this year. Do you think the whole session, training with the national team?
Absolutely, and he's a goal scorer. The fact that he was in the Olympic team mix was fantastic for him. It was a great experience. We've got more pieces around him that are going to make him a better player, and we've got more pieces around him that he's going to make other people better players. So he's a goal scorer. He knows how to do it. He's not the only one that we have in this team, and like I said, I think that we've got some guys here that not a whole lot of people are rating very high, though. For your recruiting class to be a top 25 recruiting class, you would say that that's a pretty good group, but I think they're better, and I think we've got some guys that are going to surprise some people.
You guys were kind of an unfortunate victim of all this conference shuffling. Is it at least a little encouraging knowing what Akron was able to do a couple years ago, knowing that you are a league where you can play at the highest level, knowing that they did it?
Yes and no. What Akron did a couple years ago really doesn't impact us at all. Either at the end of the day we're good enough or we're not good enough. And like I said before, I'm a big believer that the teams make the conference. The conference doesn't make the teams. We believe we are good enough to compete for a national title no matter where we are. And if we go out and we do that this year, it doesn't matter what conference we're playing, the players want to come here. And I think we're good enough to do that regardless of where we are.
How important is it to have 7 seniors as you go into the new conference?
I said to the guys, I care less who plays. I just want to win, whether that's seniors or freshmen. I think the seniors have been there and they've done that, and that's the time invested. And the hopes are that more so the seniors can help the younger guys in regards to that we've learned from our mistakes. We've learned from what beat us last year, and we're not going to let that beat us again this year. That's where senior freshman maybe comes into play. But at the end of the day, Andy Bevan was one of the best players in the country, regardless of class. Eric Shanley was one of the best players in the country, regardless of class. Meatucks were the best players. Those guys weren't seniors last year, so it's more to do with experience. We've got young players who have a lot of experience on international level, and I think they're going to come back in, and they're going to come into this team, and they're going to do well. But more so just from learning from mistakes. I'm hoping that experience will rub off on the younger guys.
I hear you like to invite a lot of players over at your house. Is that something you've done ever since you started here? What's the?
Yeah, we actually we last November we had finally built the house and moved into it. When I got here, unfortunately, it was 7, I don't know, it was 2006, like this day, and I got here in time for this session, barely. So I basically walked on the field and met my team on that day. Problem was my wife and kids were back at Penn State, and I had to find a house and learn 28 guys' names and watch film and everything else. I just got the first thing I could get us into. And we kind of outgrew that place in regards to having the players over and even our own family, since I had my son Kellen. So yeah, we built a house in Morgantown, and with the purpose of having the guys over and having them be part of our family. And so we're actually going to have the guys over this weekend. We're going to watch hopefully Ray play for the Union this weekend against Chicago Fire. And yeah, that's part of what this is supposed to be. It's not just supposed to be about wins and losses. It's about getting to know these guys and being a part of their lives. And we wanted to open our home and be able to do that.
You mentioned, Shanley, obviously an All-America type player. What are you looking for on him on the field? Is there anything that he needs to do?
He just needs to be himself. Yeah, he needs to be himself. We're good enough that this team doesn't need to do extra in order to make up for a lack in other places. I think we've got guys that if we do all the little things right for ourselves, it's all going to come together. I don't want him bearing the load of somebody in front of him or somebody behind him. Eric's got a job to do, and he knows what it is. He's got to be a leader and a captain and a senior and be as good as he can be on any given day, and that's all we really ask from him. And the same from all the other guys. I think we'll be as good as the sum of all the different parts. If we've got one guy trying to do too much, it's not going to happen. I think with this group in here, that they just need to stay balanced, and come out and give their personal best effort every day.
Are the guys coming off surgery, are they all pretty much full go right now? Are you trying to take it easy with them a little bit?
No, they're full go. Shadow's back, full go. Peebo's back, full go. The only one who's held out right now is Alejandro Mion, the freshman. He picked up a knee injury back in March, so he's held out at the moment. Other than that, everybody's full go, and knock on wood, we'll be healthy here for the coming months.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.